Good afternoon. Saturday afternoon, about 3 o'clock. I've been doing some carving on the bottom. I want to show you something. Man, if that don't look like a fiddle, huh? Won't be long now. I have to make a confession. Although I did, for the most, this is the bottom plate. I haven't done the inside belly yet, the inside curvature. But I do have to make a confession about this bottom plate. For the most part, I used my gouges. My little pretty one. I didn't even use my favorite one. I used in a combination of these chisels. This is a 1-inch chisel. This one here, and in combination with this little 1/2-inch chisel, I was able to because this wood is so hard. I found that the chisels, I was able to, just the way you manipulate your curvatures and things, I was able to get a lot more carving done with the chisels, and I'd come back in with the gouges every now and then. I even got a 3/4 chisel that I didn't even break out yet. But so yeah, I used the chisels, I used the gouges, but when it comes to the finish, I will confess, I broke out the palm sander. And it took 40 grit. I got 40 grit on here to get all the gouge marks and chisel marks out. I started thinking, if the old masters, Stradivari and Guarneri, if they were around today with today's technology, would they still be chip, 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 ch-ch-ch? No, indeed not, man. They'd be all excited with all the power tools we have today. I did resist the urge of breaking out my belt sander, because I could have took my belt sander and I could have had this done probably in a half hour with a belt sander, because I know how to use it. I've done it before. But I did resist the urge because there's a certain romantic mystique about hand carving a fiddle, but now the finishing part of it. I said I'm gonna use my palm sander. The heck with this. And I'm gonna come back with my scraper later on when I really get it to where I want it at. Make it nice and slick and smooth, because you can kind of see the little swirl marks from the sander. So I'll make a confession. Okay, enough of that. Word of the day. I had to write it down phonetically. I know how to say it in my head. Drigai. You know what a drigai is? I've heard drigai a lot. So you just might be Cajun if you know what drigai is. And drigai, I'm not sure. It might be another made-up word, but I know what it's in reference to when you say drigai. If you don't know what it is, find somebody. I don't know if you can find it in the dictionary. I don't know. I might have to look. I've got a Cajun word dictionary. So, drigai. If you know what drigai is, just might be Cajun. All right. Making good progress. To probably tomorrow, I'm gonna start on the inside. I got to carve the inside just a little bit different on this back plate. Again, another bomb went off. A little bit different thicknesses than from the top plate. And just out of curiosity, I'm gonna take this inside. I'm gonna do, even without digging this out, I'm gonna do a quick little tap test. And I know it's gonna be way off, but I just kind of want to satisfy a curiosity, and I'll get back with you. Hey, what's going on? It is Thursday afternoon, November 4th. So it's been a couple, 2 or 3 days. Been making some progress. But before I say anything else, the word of the day is capotate. Why do I say that? Well, it was almost heartbreaking. I broke the top, cracked it, not once, but twice. I did something really stupid, and I should know better. But lesson learned. I was doing a tap test with the top, and I wanted to do the little sound test with the sound wave vibrations, and I got so excited because things were working out, and I was able to replicate the test, which told me that I was doing something right with the top that I was carving. And I got so excited, I was messing with my computer, and I put the top on the floor, not even thinking, and I just kind of stepped just a little bit, and I heard like, oh, my heart sank. Well, okay, I fixed that. I was able to fix it. Nothing that I can't fix. It's my fiddle, and I'll deal with it. It's gonna probably affect the sound somewhat, but it's not gonna be unplayable, and it's not gonna, I think it'll be good enough for what I want to do. Lesson learned. But again, today, this morning, capote. I was cutting the F holes, or trying to cut the F holes, and I watched a video about how to do it easily, so you don't make any mistakes. And I got carried away, and I cracked it again. I cracked it pretty good. So I got it inside the house. Anyway, where was I? My phone. Today is capote day. My phone just capoted. It stopped because my storage was almost full, so I had to stop and delete a few things. Let me get away. I'm sure you don't want to see me up close. But anyway, I can salvage it. It's just not going to look the prettiest, but that's okay. It's mine. I don't plan on getting rid of it. It's my first one, and I've still got my first bass guitar. I've sold other guitars. I still got my first ever acoustic guitar that I started on. I'll probably wind up keeping that. I'll probably wind up keeping that bass guitar. I'll see. I'm not in love with it anymore. It's old. So I'll probably wind up keeping this fiddle. But I did get some new things, so capote. So this is a little gauge for the bridge, and this is a bridge that I bought. I was gonna try to build a bridge, but man, I started looking at this thing, and it's very complex. Not that I can't do it, but I might save myself some time. I'm kind of getting impatient with this fiddle. I want to start playing it like now, like yesterday. So I'll probably use this bridge here. That's what this little gauge is for. These things come very rough and raw, and so you have to whittle them down, and they're kind of oversized just a bit, so you got to kind of fit them to your fiddle. But so this is the latest progress on the back. I've got it pretty much all nice and even. Yeah, I see a couple little minor imperfections, nothing that I can't live with. If you notice, I've got the purfling in. So I've been working on the fiddle. It's been 2 or 3 days since I did a YouTube video, and so this morning I cut all my holes to do my thickness. So while I'm doing that, some other things I got some. This is a little whoop. Here, I'll get another one. This is a little string tuner. They say you only need it for the I think it's the G string, but I'm gonna put it on all 4, maybe 3. The E string will probably be just fine, but I bought 4 of them. I'm gonna try it, and I can always go back to the one. But anyway, let me do a quick little pause. I got to get a couple of tools. I'll be right back to get a couple of chisels down from my rack, and I'm sure you didn't want to see my big belly or my butt or whatever would have been showing out on it. So I'm gonna start working on this on gouging out the inside of this back plate. And I haven't told a story in a couple days, so I want to tell a story about my friend Kevin. I don't think he minds me using his name. If he does, tough. I just won't use his last name. I've been knowing Kevin for a long time. I've been in a couple of bands, couple of little garage bands, you know, nothing serious. And Kevin, I was in one band with him that me and another friend of mine started, and then we kind of broke away from that for a little while. Things just wasn't gelling. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Everything was fine. We just maybe wasn't the right combination. So I kind of found another band, and then I brought my first band buddy in with me on this second or third band I was in. Might have been the second band I was in. So I brought him in, and then I met. Long story short, I met another friend of mine who is now and has been our lead singer, although we're not playing right now, but we do maybe someday, if things turn out. We plan on getting back together maybe, or just maybe continuing doing some writing. You know, life gets in the way sometimes, but you know, we're still together. Matter of fact, we're still doing a group chat thing. We keep in touch with each other, everybody, with everybody every day. Anyway, and I'll tell you that story at a later date about how my band, which we call ourselves Exit 44, we were You Harley River. Long story of how that name. Long story how that name came about. But anyway, so long story short. I've been playing music with Kevin now for years, or we've been knowing each other for years now. And I'll have to tell you the story about how I ended up here on his property. I'm living on his property, and we're kind of trading favors, he and I. I'm not going to get into the whole 9 yards of what we're doing, this and that, blah, blah, blah. No. But anyway, I've been knowing Kevin for a long time. And Kevin is a tool guy. He loves tools. He's a keyboard player. He is learning to play the ukulele. Matter of fact, I built him. Might have showed it. I'm gonna have to show later of the ukulele that I built him. It's an electric ukulele. So he's learning how to play ukulele. He's even bought him an acoustic ukulele. And so anyway, he's a tool guy. Well, you know, building my guitars, it takes, I can do it without a lot of fancy tools, but boy, it sure is nice to have the right tools. I mean, if you're a tool guy, if you're any kind of a carpenter or a mechanic or whatever the case may be, if you work with tools, you know that having the right tools makes things so easy and sweet. Anyway, he's got some tools that he lets me use in building my guitars. Matter of fact, these purple guitars I may have shown a while back, I've used a lot of the tools to build those guitars, and it cuts a lot of time, saves a lot of that. Matter of fact, I use some of the tools cutting out these two plates for the fiddle. So you know, the thing is, he loves tools. And he and I are kind of trading favors, you know, doing this, doing that. But what he don't know is that the tools alone is, how can I say it? I'll do anything because of the tools. I don't have to buy tools. I don't have to buy the tools. He has all the tools. Now the tools he has, I wish I had. I just don't have a place to keep it. And they're kind of expensive, and I don't have that kind of money. Otherwise, I'd have to do everything strictly by hand. But you know, it just cuts things. It cuts the time in half almost. And so it kind of brings up the point the other day I was making about, you know, Stradivari and Guarneri. You know, I promised myself that I wasn't gonna get out the belt sander, and I wasn't gonna get out the, you know, man, if I could have done this with a belt sander, I could have probably had it pretty much roughed in about an hour. And it's taken me a couple of good days to get it to this here. So I'm thinking, you know, if those guys were alive today, man, Home Depot and Lowe's would be their favorite place to go. They would be there all the time. They would they would be utilizing the modern day tools. And so I started thinking, well, shoot, man, it's stupid not to incorporate modern day tools whenever you possibly can. And so that's what I did. I kind of cheated on this back plate a little bit. I broke out my palm sander somewhere around here, and you know, I sanded it down really nice. But for the most part, you know, I used my gouges, and I did use my chisels for the most part, just like I'm using my gouges, you know, for carving out all of this this excess stuff. So, you know, Kevin's a tool guy, and I would probably do almost anything he asked me to do. Don't tell him that, just because he lets me use his tools. So anyway, that's my story about Kevin. And of course, Kevin's a clown. Me and him get along great. We've had a friendship before, but we're building a pretty good friendship on top of that. So yeah. So that's my story about Kevin. Anyway, I'm gonna pay attention to this, and you know, I mean, it wasn't an exciting story, but he is a funny guy. He and I mean, we're constantly in contact with each other. He works out of town on the weekdays, comes home on the weekends, but I mean, we're constantly texting each other. He's always coming up with little funny stories and little funny cartoons and things like that, and I laugh, of course, you know, and kind of makes the day go by. He shares it with the group, with the rest of the band, and so yeah, it makes the time go by, and it just, you know, it's fun living around here. His wife is really cool, and so we all get along really good. His wife, my wife, the four of us, we get along really good. Anyway, let me go for now, and I'm gonna finish carving this out. And then this one here, if I don't step on it, I'm going to be able to do a tap test and a sound test and show you how the whole process goes. But yeah, my heart really sank. Oh, I was so aggravated at myself that I did something stupid. Not only stepping on it and cracking it. Yeah, I mean, I had a little crack, maybe a couple of inches, which I was able to fix and patch. Super glue is a good thing. But then I cracked it again this morning, trying to cut the holes for the F hole. Anyway, later.